Hello, this is Dennis with A1 Telephone Service and Repair, A1 Electronics. You can reach us on the web at www.a1-telephone.com, and you can also reach us at 618-235-6959. Today I want to show you the final checkout video of Val's telephone from Maine, and this is a plastic body 302, and it's in very good condition. And we did an earlier checkout video of this telephone and basically showed the condition of this telephone. It's in really good shape for being a plastic body, and the corners look like they're in great shape. And the famous thing with these telephones is the corners on the plastic bodies end up breaking because the plastic will shrink around the base of the telephone and kind of pull on the corners, and they get dropped too because they're a really heavy telephone. These are great telephones. They're very heavy, well made, just kind of made like a tank. And this one's in really good shape. Val had bought this telephone from, I believe, a flea market or something to that effect. And it had a few issues going on with it. And so basically, it worked for a little bit for him. And then he said that it started not recognizing the pulse on number 1. And so I showed in the initial video that the number 1 would dial here, and it also dialed on our telephone line. But I went into the rotary anyway, and I readjusted the rotary. And so now the numbers are racking off even faster, and that may be one of the problems he was having. Maybe the equipment at the phone company at his location in Maine, if the pulse was slow enough, it may not have recognized it as a 1. And so now we have upgraded the return and the clutch on the rotary mechanism, and so basically it's going to dial a lot faster now, and the wheel will turn. Some people recognize that also as how the finger wheel, how the speed of the finger wheel return can be due to the spring also, but there's also a clutching mechanism in the rotary, and that's basically something that can be adjusted on some of these. So this one has been adjusted, and we went through the rotary and cleaned and oiled it and made sure everything was fine. There was also another issue where the handset cord, which is easy overlooked, but in this case this one was not tightened. It wasn't in position where it was supposed to be, and there's a bracket that holds the handset cord into place, and it was really pulling in and out, and so it was very noticeable. The other thing from the initial checkout video was someone installed a newer style modular black line cord, but yet all they did was twist the wires together. They didn't put any spade connectors on it, and they did not stabilize the line cord going out of the back of the phone. So in a sense, any simple little pull or too hard of a pull would have just pulled it right on out. So there was a lot of little issues going on with this telephone, and basically I'm kind of curious to see how this, if number 1 will be recognized by Val's telephone company now that we have readjusted the clutching mechanism and went through the points and oiled everything and cleaned them. I'm pretty sure it'll probably hit now, but I can't be 100% sure because I'm not at the location to check that situation out. But I can go by my analyzer in our phone line here, and although this phone was hitting the number 1 at this location, everything has been readjusted that has anything to do with the rotary mechanism and all the workings. So basically it was just a lot of little issues. We also cleaned the hook switch and went through some things, but it was just needed a little attention, and so everything got squared away. This telephone is in really good shape. This gives you kind of a look at it, and it's a beautiful telephone. I mean, anybody would want this telephone for sure. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to do some final checks of this telephone. I'm going to go ahead and ring it. I'll let that go a couple of times. There's no rings like these 302s. They're some of the best sounding telephones out there. It's just the design of the bell. They just have a nice crisp ring. Give you some dial tone. And I'm going to go ahead and run through the numbers. And like I said, the spring has not been adjusted in this finger wheel and in the rotary. You know, a lot of people will equate how fast it returns with the spring, and sometimes it can be the spring, but most of the time it's the clutching mechanism. So here we go. There's the 1. And I'm going to do the 0 again, one more time, come back to 2 and go to 1, go to 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So basically, from the earlier video, the initial checkout, you'll see that the finger wheel is returning much faster and it's racking off the numbers quicker, and that's because of the adjustment. And hopefully that'll do the trick for Val. And maybe that quicker response of the pulse that's generated by this rotary, their phone company will recognize it. If you slow that pulse down, sometimes it confuses the equipment. Although the equipment should be open so that it recognizes, you know, they have a variable fluctuation that they recognize, and most companies you know, have that adjusted out to where there's a lot of fluctuation because you have so many different phones out there in the neighborhoods and in their towns. So, but maybe theirs is just a little too picky. I don't know. But we'll see what this does for it. And so now what we're going to do, since we've dialed the numbers here, I want to take and switch this telephone over into a regular line. And I want to give you some dial tone here. And I want to go ahead and dial, say, a time and temp number.
Good afternoon. Credit issues? Apply by phone anytime at 622-4600. 622-4600. Same day approval available. Today is Saturday, August 6th. The time is 3:50. Current temperature 97 degrees. Now the weather forecast for the Belleville area. Hot and humid today, partly sunny, 40% chance of a shower and a thunderstorm.
And you can see, I'm going to do that one more time. I'm going to call my number, and you can see how fast I'm dialing. So it's got a quick response time now. It'll just be busy. And I want to call time and temp one more time. And watch how fast I'm able to dial the number here.
Good afternoon. Our body shop can repair almost any make and model for less. Offenburg, Belleville, 234-0330. Today is Saturday, August 6th. The time is 3:51. Current temperature 97 degrees. Now the weather forecast for the Belleville area. Hot and humid today, partly sunny, 40% chance of a shower and a thunderstorm.
So we know that this telephone is working, and we're going to check the rotary one more time. I'm going to go ahead and ring the phone. It just rings like a new phone. That's beautiful. Got dial tone here. And now another thing I want to do is I want to dial, since the suspect problem was number 1, I'm going to dial 1, a 2, a 1, a 2, a 1, and a 2. And I'm going to talk into the handset. I want to speak into the handset and transmit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That red light on the analyzer indicates 100% modulation. Hello, hello. Hello, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, basically, everything is working on this telephone, and hopefully that will solve Val's problem. and he'll be able to use the one at his location. But anyway, you know, you could set these telephones up like this, so like when you were listening to radio stations and they said the second caller wins all the money. Well, back in the old days, they didn't have these simple redial things. You had to sit there and just dial the phone as fast as you could, and hopefully you were the winner. But this one's at least set up. You know, if a guy got real good with this, he could almost beat a touch tone in. So, you know, it's dialing fine now. And I do believe that'll help him out a little. So anyway, this is Val's telephone from Maine. It's a nice Western Electric 302. It's a beautiful telephone. And this is Dennis with A1 Telephone Service and Repair, A1 Electronics. You can reach us on the web at www.a1-telephone.com, and you can also reach us at 618-235-6959. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.